week next week. I'm gonna make a little highlight for it and make the play. But Terry, college basketball. How's your NC State Wolfpack?
We're not bad.
Are you
14-7.
Are you in the tournament now or not?
No. We're 14-7, 6-4 in ACC. But I mean, they got this ridiculous game that they're gonna play today that people say it's like, I don't know, heaven or something. But I don't understand it. But they say it's Duke against Carolina, and everybody's supposed to watch it at 6:30 today. That's all I can tell people.
Well, I'll tell you one person who won't be watching. I might listen to it.
Well, we crapped a bed against, I think it was Georgia Tech.
Georgia
Tech beat Duke, too, and they've got 4 wins on the season, I believe, Georgia Tech.
Beat them by 2, didn't
they?
Yeah.
One.
R.J. Davis missed the final shot, which we shouldn't have been in that position anyway. But we're 10-1 ACC, I think, and
there was a
18-3
nice
overall or something.
play, though. I mean, it was a nice drawn-up play, but you can't ask.
We should have been down anyway.
Yeah,
I had to check the video.
Ohio State had a real strong showing at Northwestern. They only got beat by 30.
I had to check the artwork, make sure Chip was a
so
Tar Heel
bad.
fan.
Because Pinto Beans can't play basketball.
They're so bad.
The Black Eyed Peas.
A nut can't play basketball.
They were talking about, they won a few games.
How's he supposed to cross
You crack
over?
yourselves up, don't you guys? I just wish I could crack myself up like y'all go, oh, nut can't play basketball. Can't even tell his own joke. He cracks himself up. He probably sits in front of the mirror all day, just tells himself jokes, never has to leave the house. But
I've done it before, Tom.
I can see that, Terry. I can definitely see that.
I just tell the jokes to my wife, and she don't get them for about 4 hours later.
But
then they come back and say, I know what you said.
Yeah, right.
We had such a beautiful Saturday. We finally, my mom and dad had been really sick, and they finally got a little better. So we all went out to eat a couple weeks late for Jackie's birthday. So we're all going out. It was a beautiful Saturday.
He never
Everybody
gets in
had
the
a
middle,
great
Kevin.
time. Anna was home and all that. Then we put on that Ohio State game. It was like a beautiful Saturday ruined by Ohio State. I mean, they're just so bad. Then they got beat again. They got beat again by Iowa last night by 2 points. So I'm just getting ready for the what's that team?
NIT?
No, the tournament that Charlotte won last year. We might be in that one. So
on the third layer.
That UNC Charlotte has an Australian coach. You ever heard him get interviewed?
No.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he's from way down under. Okay, you can really tell this guy's just like fresh off the boat. But they've won some games.
What the heck? Oh, that's where you're running into the people.
I'm glad you brought up Iowa.
Yeah. That's when they beat the best player in the nation or knocked her out.
No. She hit the fan.
Yeah,
she hit the fan.
This is the biggest flop in the history of the world. Victimization. Society.
Here's the problem.
Boom.
She's running off the court because
there's better angles of it where she pushed the girl and hit the girl.
She got beat.
She's probably trying to get away from the crowd.
She got beat. You don't have to run. Why are you running in that crowd? There's no reason for her to run. If victimization is exactly Kevin 100. Both of them. I don't care either one of them. Both of you are idiots.
All right, Kevin and Tom and Zach. Do you agree with rushing to court, or do you agree with not rushing to court on account of this? This has come up quite often.
I think it can be potentially dangerous.
She did push her. Yeah, she did push her.
That was a LeBron flop, though.
It was.
The girl was on the phone, wasn't paying no attention to Caitlin Clark at one bit. She's probably never been to a college basketball or sporting event in her life.
Clark seen her.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Then she gave her the that's the most Draymond Green thing I've seen in a women's basketball game in quite a while.
Well, it's like people like her. They've had the success. She's getting all the attention and all that. And then
Getting ready to break the record.
Then they get beat.
Flop or not, Terry?
I think it's a good flop.
She flopped, didn't she?
And then they're going to make a great big deal out of this. But
I want to see the video of the girl holding the phone. That's got to be the best video.
She didn't.
But
she didn't even. She didn't. I don't think she fell.
Yeah, she went down.
Okay, I didn't think she did.
Yeah. Up in the air.
I didn't think she fell when I saw her. She was already back up, so she got up pretty quick.
But it's a good debate this past week over that happening. I mean, I know Jay Billis was totally against anybody hitting the court, but then there's a lot of people who was like, maybe they need to have like a 5-minute interim, then you can all run. But I mean, that 5 minute, I know, but that 5-minute stuff. I mean, it ain't gonna be on television.
Nothing. As far as the opposing teams, they should they should have a way to get them off the court as quick as they can. They can shake hands in the back or something. They can't. you don't want to take the fun away from it. You don't want them. You really don't want the people down there. Security, I just gives up.
No,
they don't
they
do that
don't.
in
They
NFL
don't.
games.
Yeah, I was gonna say the NFL's.
They
I
don't
mean,
do
or,
that in
not
Major League
NFL,
Baseball
excuse me.
games.
No.
They don't rush the field in pro sports.
the college games
so
is
they can
worse.
stop it if they want.
The football,
But-
college football.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Take a cattle prod down there?
That's
Start
why
shocking people?
I don't know. Electrify the fence.
What about when I remember? It's probably been a long time, but it was Iowa played a game at Minnesota, beat them there, and tore down their goalposts. Stole them. I mean, it's like, oh my God, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, just say that they do crazy stuff at college. I remember when UNCC beat Louisville when Louisville was number 4. We rushed the court, it was fun. But and that's just kind of been the college.
That was only like 40 people.
No, it was back to no, Kevin, no,
60.
no. We used to be good
I know
in the 90s.
y'all did. Y'all
In the
built
90s,
a nice
we were good.
arena. You had good recruiting, good teams. What was the
Right.
coach's name? I can't.
We
I
had
know it's
Mullins for
There
a
you
Yep,
while.
it was
and,
him.
He was a pretty good. He's a Duke guy. But we had some good teams in the '90s and had some fun.
That's where
and then-
Roderick
and then we just
Howard went.
fell off the planet. Now we got this guy from down under. Now I like him. I like some of the things he says. They do some interviews with him, and I think he's got the program going. It's trending.
They had a
Like,
big
they won
win.
like 7, 8 in a row.
They
They're
had a big
trending
win
in the
this
right
year
direction.
too. They had a big win against a pretty good.
They beat Florida Atlantic or somebody like that, who was ranked at the time 17th.
Yeah.
ranked. So I think they're trending. I mean, it's a pretty big school. It's in a good city. I mean, you should be able to attract these guys that Carolina and Duke pass up on. I mean,
Oh yeah.
You might hit on a Curry or something like with him going to Davidson and maybe thought he was undersized. You might hit on somebody
It's
like
like
that.
when Purdue beat Ohio State. A lot of the kids that were at Purdue is like, well, Ohio State didn't want me, and now I could show you why you should have recruited me.
Shout out real
So-
quick to local mid-major school that I'm involved with. Gardner Webb's on the 6-game winning streak right now. Their men's basketball team. Not this Wednesday, but the previous Wednesday, they beat Longwood 76-64 on 12 of 13 shooting behind the arc. 12 of that. It set a Big South Conference record for behind the 3-point line.
Longwood.
They defeat Longwood.
Sad thing now is though, if you hit on a big recruit, they're going to go somewhere else. Now they can take them from you.
Yeah. Play 1 year and say adios.
It's the mid-major schools, and you're seeing this in a lot of sports. They're becoming feeder schools, and same as the JUCOs were, and not just for the players, for the coaches.
So, number 1 overall seed according to Bracketology is Purdue. Last 4 buys: Texas Providence, Texas A&M. See if I can get that up. There we go. Seton Hall. Last 4 in Memphis, Nebraska, Boise State, and Colorado. First 4
ACC's
out.
got
Florida,
what,
Washington
4?
State. I haven't got down there yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna look in a second. Gonzaga, Butler, Virginia, Cincinnati, Villanova, and Oregon are the next 4 out. 68-team bracket. We got North Carolina Central as a 6-team seed for you Central fans out there listening
App
to the
State
show this
sitting there
morning.
at a 12.
Green Bay, isn't it? The Packers.
App's in right now.
Green Bay.
Automatic qualifier. They've had a pretty good season.
They have.
The gym at the home center up there has been rocking this year. Beat Auburn as one of their victories. And they've got them in their bracket right
So I was
there.
looking at it. Play them second round.
Who's that now?
Auburn,
Auburn.
App State.
How are they a 4-seed? We're at 12, Terry. We wax the floor with them.
That's right.
I hate college sports. Wax the floor with
And
them.
why would you put them in the same bracket?
I do remember that. I remember that being on the news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you put them in the same bracket? Come on.
Revenge?
That's what it is.
Revenge.
Well,
Get them back.
That's how the big schools try to wipe out their victories or when they get their win. No, okay. Well, we didn't have
Okay,
your
now we'll
schedule.
put 'em
We'll
on a
play in a
neutral
couple of weeks.
This bracketology is all just guesswork
By
anyway.
the time
They
that
don't
happens,
ever
Terry,
get it
they'll
right.
make you go to Auburn.
I finally figured out what these quad wins were.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like it depends on not only where they're ranked, but did you play them home or away?
Yeah. You don't get no quad
Right.
1 wins hardly at home unless,
Right.
like State would have
Right.
played Carolina at home, they'd got a quad 1 rim because Carolina was in the top 10 or whatever.
So it's like so many schools, like the top, like if you, I can't remember exactly the number, but you beat a top 50 on the road would be better than maybe beating a top 30 at home. Something. to
Where
that
did these
effect.
words come into effect? I've never heard of quad anything until this year.
I didn't understand.
Yeah,
it.
this
I didn't-
always
So what are we
been there.
talking about?
I find
War.
It's one of those.
Is this war? Is this
War.
No, seriously, the quad 1 and quad 2 thing are things that I like heard like because it'll be a little blurb on TV, but they never explain what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they have 10 quad 1 wins, and I was like, well, what is that? Like nobody ever takes the time to explain. Well, this is what a quad 1. And, you could type it in the Google machine, but I kept forgetting to do it. And I finally did.
It's the modern day RPI.
It don't take a lot of geniuses to figure this out. Let's do this.
Yeah.
If you beat a Power 5 school, you get 2 points at home. If you beat a Power 5 school on the road, you get 3 points. You beat a non-Power 4, 1 and 2. It's just that simple. And then when you do the rankings, look at the top 25 right now, not when you beat them. Right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they're number 5. They're ranked in the top 25. You get an extra point. So now you got 6 points for that victory. And hey, how hard is that? It's just simple. 1, 2, 3 instead of 0.07853 on the Richter scale.
Well, State,
for
that's
the
like
Texas and
them
NC
right now.
State
They got
score.
2 more home games. None of them are quad 1s. Our next quad 1 win would be when we go to Wake.
So you don't make tournament unless you get those.
We got to have some quad 1 wins.
It rewards you for winning on the road. I will say that.
Yeah.
It rewards you for winning on the road.
Well, right now, Clemson would be a 7 seed in the ACC. Appalachian State would be a 12 seed.
And Duke and Carolina's the other 2, and we only got 3.
Duke
I ain't
would,
even seen it, but
Duke
I know
would be
we
a
only
3
got 3.
seed.
How can you tell the ACC you can only have 3 teams?
Charlotte is in right now. Tom is an automatic qualifier.
I told you they're trend. Where are they? 13. Yeah,
13.
They're trending in the right direction.
Would you take the Charlotte 49ers bus up to Dayton, Ohio to watch that, Tom? Alma mater?
But where would the game be? Spokane,
Oh,
Washington.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not at home. That would be fun. How about NCAA tournament games, first round games at home of the lower seed? What you think about that?
Oh, that would be awful tough for you as a 9
Say that
and
again,
8.
Kevin.
Well, they just had Tufted.
That would be
Kevin,
tough.
what did you just say?
Home game to the lower seed first round.
Kevin,
Say I
that's
was
so dumb.
Yeah, that would be hard.
Why?
Fun.
That's dumb.
No, that'd be fun.
The 8
Think
versus
about-
9, and I got to go to
No,
number
no, no,
9.
Why are you going to reward the lower seed?
Jeez, here y'all go
Kevin,
again.
I think
Here y'all go.
No,
Let's reward
seriously,
the ones.
Seriously, I think
Let's
I
reward
think
the
about a
ones.
lot of things you say, and I'm like, Kevin might be right there. But that's dumb.
No,
you
why?
don't reward them.
Oh, there y'all go.
Yeah.
I'm not. You're in the tournament. That's your reward.
No, that's the reward for the lower seed.
No. Listen,
Yeah.
listen.
Let me be the
Listen.
lower seed while I can play at home.
Y'all want to have exactly. Y'all want to have fun.
So you're gonna have teams tanking.
Vermont hosting Duke in the first round
They
is
would
way
lose-
better. Way
they
better.
Would lose their minds.
Way better. Way better than Duke versus Vermont in Pittsburgh.
Oh, my
Think
Lord.
about Baylor at Appalachian State in round 1 instead of Baylor and Appalachian in Spokane, Washington.
I agree with you, but play it at Duke.
Yeah.
Let that would be an experience.
They're gonna win.
Look.
Give them a chance to win. To
Look.
upset.
That's not necessarily true.
Look, what an experience that would be for their kids from Vermont to go to Cameron Indoor and play Duke.
What
There you
experience?
go.
What
See what I
experience?
mean?
we're
That'd
Okay,
be a great
you're right.
experience.
What experience it would be for Duke to actually play a road game, Tom?
They-
what experience it be for them to have to go sit in someone else's locker room
and
one
see
time?
the wonderful
They-
countryside of
They-
Vermont.
Vermont.
They went up to Ohio State and got beat.
Sit in Vermont's locker room. They've never seen
Vermont, where
anybody.
the whole crowd's only going to be 3,000.
Exactly. That's how many's going to be there for Pittsburgh.
I think we'd all be in favor of taking them away from these
Tom,
locations.
I know you wouldn't
You know,
like
yeah.
it. You're an elitist.
I'm not an elitist. I'm just
You
saying.
don't. You definitely don't want Ohio State coming into Appalachian State under any circumstances. I
No,
understand.
I
I
would
understand.
Love, no,
I understand.
Wrong.
I understand.
I would love
I
Ohio
understand.
State to go to
I
Appalachian State
understand.
because it's an hour and a half from my house. So I would love to go
and
an hour and a half from my
and
house.
Ohio State would have.
It's like when I saw Youngstown State at Appalachian State, it was only an hour and a half from my house. So I love it when I would love for Ohio State to come down and play. I don't know, come down and play South Carolina. I would love that. Come to their building because now I can go 90, 100 miles to Columbia. South. Play Coastal.
I was about to say,
Ohio
they should
State-
have a home and home with
Ohio
Coastal.
State, play Coastal
They should have a
because
home
the
and-
whole state of Ohio already lives in Horry
Exactly.
County. So, there would be more Ohio State fans there than there would be Coastal. But no, when we went to state, Terry, we went to state. I went up and watched in 2003. I went up.
So
and
one of my
watched it.
points on the basketball thing on this tournament, real quick, on this first round thing, is Appalachian's stadium is just as big as Duke's.
It is.
So like
It is.
like 40.
9,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about their basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We're talking about
Cameron
basketball.
is
It's less than
Cameron
that.
is tiny.
So,
It's-
so that's what I'm
Who's less
saying.
than that?
So that's what I'm saying is that it's not necessarily a home court advantage for some of these people. When it's not the same as football. So like, you don't have to squeeze in 100,000 people for Ohio State fans. They couldn't come to Appalachia State. It'd be so many people that could get in there. But like when basketball, now we've got the same size basketball gym as Duke. So, we could hold that. We could hold that. The Ohio State fans coming in there for that game, or the Duke fans, or the Carolina fans. Carolina and Duke, like Ted said, Terry, is the only ACC team. Carolina, Duke, and Clemson listed the only
three.
And is this Clemson still being in seventh
State-
place
State
type
should-
thing?
State and Florida State both
Clemson's
should be
like
in there.
10th. Please explain. Come
Virginia,
on, y'all.
you got to put them there.
I get on the college
I mean,
football
I know
stuff
they
enough, but y'all are going to do
old to
this in
look at,
basketball
but-
now?
Yep.
Yeah,
Why-
that's what they're doing. It's an ACC
How-
somehow
Clemson's in
dropped
10th.
for everything.
Terry, Clemson's in 10th.
I know.
Got
But they're
a
in.
losing record in the conference.
They're 7th seed in the tournament.
They're 14-6. State's 14-7, but Clemson's in, and I can understand it. That's a bump from last year. I could understand
Is that what
every
they're
bit of that
doing?
happen. But
you get to play.
But what about Virginia,
And it all-
Miami, Syracuse, Wake, and Florida State?
But it all goes
10th
back to where
place.
they were ranked at the beginning of the year. Remember, Clemson was in the
Oh,
top
yeah.
25.
Oh,
So
no. Okay,
I'm telling you, that's what it is. They got that.
I'm an alien. I just landed on this planet,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all and I'm looking at the ACC standings, and y'all are telling me in the tournament is first, second,
and
and
10th.
10th. What's
Yeah.
Where's the? Do I have to pull the pictures up of the tournament committee of people again and all that?
We're
stuff?
gonna
Telling
jump
me
over 7 people.
Virginia's not in the tournament.
7-3 Virginia,
No.
16-5.
They
Yeah, they
7
said-
teams
They
ahead
had
of
them on the
Clemson.
bubble.
They were in the
That's
Had
first
them on the
group
bubble.
out.
Yeah.
They're the next 4 out. They ain't even the first 4 out. Virginia's,
Number 3 in the
Virginia's
ACC.
73rd in the
Wow,
ACC.
Gonzaga's out this year.
Mm-hmm.
No.
What is the downfall though with the ACC?
I
What is
don't-
this?
But
There's
that's-
something wrong here.
Someone explain to me, anyone of any of those teams ahead. Like y'all watch. Why is Clemson ahead of any of those teams? Terry, why is Clemson ahead of Wolfpack right now?
Why
What's
is
their
Clemson?
head-to-head?
They probably thinking of last year.
What's the
That's all they
head-to-head?
could.
Has State played Clemson?
Not yet. Getting ready to.
Ours 6-4. They're 4-5. I just don't get whoever does whatever bracketology already has Clemson the 10th seed in the ACC is not good. We're going to not let anybody in, but we're going to let the 10 in. 1, 2, 10.
And only 3 teams in our league has got losing records overall. Only 3.
I will say this.
That reminds me
though.
of Varsity Blues.
Louisville is amazingly bad, though. I can't believe how bad they are. Gosh, I'm
They fell off the map,
man.
and they were bad last year.
Notre Dame's. I can remember when I was a kid. Digger Phelps was still there. They used to have a good team when Bobby Crump
they had
was at
Doherty.
Georgia Tech.
Terry, correct me.
Doherty
They
was
just
up
don't
there.
have it anymore.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But when they used to have 8, 9, and 10 teams,
Mm-hmm.
didn't they used to get 5 and 7?
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
They were ranked better when they had fewer teams in the
So
conference.
how is adding more teams to your league better for you then?
Unless there's an argument that it dilutes the
It's
product.
Right. It's made it worse.
Because how many times did State come in and get that last seed? They'd come in as a 10.
Yeah.
Usually a 7 or a 10 is where they'd fall.
If you would beat
Yeah, Herb Syndic was always in there.
Yeah.
Around
Now-
7 or 10.
now
Yeah.
not this year. If you beat Louisville, over the course of history as an out of conference game, that would be a pretty big victory. You add
Yeah.
them to the ACC, you beat them. It's not a good victory. I think maybe too many teams is the problem. And
see, here's where you look at State. They're 14-7. We play Georgia Tech today, that Carolina just lost to, at home. And then we play Pitt at home. Then we make that quad 1 move over to Wake Forest, and then we got a quad 1 with Clemson. Those are our next 4. So we got an opportunity, but we cannot lose to Georgia Tech or Pitt
That'll give you 18 wins.
if we win them all.
Yeah.
Let's go 3-1.
It used to be.
You know?
Am I like delusional or was like 20 wins?
It
kinda-
Yeah, we
used to
talked about
be.
that with the Tar Heels last
But
year.
now Clemson
Yeah, they
had
won
how many
22.
win last year?
Tom, a 22-win Tar Heel team didn't get in the tournament.
That was ranked number 1 at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, I don't know what's going on with this stuff. I mean, none of it makes sense. For you to sit here and try to make sense of any of it, you basically should just watch the television and say, thanks, guys, for letting me know.
It tells us at the end of the year who we won't watch any of the games. Just tell us at the end of the year
Yeah.
who gets in the tournament.
You know what I say? You know what I say? We can make this a lot clearer. Okay, you're going to use the regular season to seed you in the tournament, and then we're going to take if you make the final 4 of your conference tournament. Those 4 are in the NCAA, and then fill the gaps with
that-
all the other ones. That's what I would say.
Tom,
You know?
I agree with you.
Yep.
I love automatic qualifiers for everything.
Yep.
But the people who run college hate automatic qualifiers for
Because
Because
It
they don't
kills
get to
the-
control
It kills the
puts-
suspense.
It puts
It's
them out of a job.
there's no drama. Yeah, and Tom and Kevin's point too. Yeah.
How
That's
many
what I've
teams
got.
did you?
Well, no, it helps protect brand names too. Like you're sitting there, you got Notre Dame on the bubble versus Alcorn State. Who you putting in the tournament? They're gonna put Notre Dame in, and that's what they do. That's why I think they do it, is protect names and TV ratings. It ain't got nothing to do with who's deserving or whatever. Look. You know what's gonna be funny? Look who's right there on the bubble to get in the tournament, in the 4 seed.
Florida State.
Yeah.
Kick them
And
out.
I mean, and,
NCAA tournament tells us you can go undefeated in football. You're not in our playoff. You can come in 4th in the ACC. You're not in our playoff. Why would they not leave?
Who was
Well-
Florida State pissed off? That's all.
Well,
I don't
well,
know.
tell me this though: when you look at it, the ACC had 3 teams. We know who they are: Duke, Carolina, and Clemson. Clemson's not ranked. The Big Ten has 6, but only 3 of them are ranked. So what's the difference? Why are we doing this to the ACC? ACC is the threshold of basketball in the United States. Everything goes through them. And then the Big 12 in this thing, they said, would have 9. 9 teams in it from the Big 12. I mean, how many teams is in that league? 10? I mean, I don't know how many teams in the
You
Big
think
12.
it'd be 12, but they can't.
Because the Big 10 don't know how many's in it. So,
It's
So-
a little weird. It's
You got. What do y'all think about? Do y'all like the thing where, let's just say, you get in your conference tournament after the regular season's over? Do y'all like the conference champion in the tournament getting the automatic bid? Do y'all like that rule?
I would
always
say,
been the rule.
Yeah, but do you like that rule?
I'll
Yeah.
go-
I don't
I'll
mind-
go
yeah,
back to my
I'm good with
previous
that.
Rule though, use the regular season for seeding, and then use however. Just figure out the math. Which if you did the top 4 of the tournament, right? At least you get some people who, all right, you played your way in. That's the way you should. You should play your way directly. This game, this game means I get in or no, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I'm with it, and this is how I look at it. You take the regular season winner because that team played all year for that.
And then
Yeah,
the top
that's
And
four.
what-
then
Yeah.
whoever wins your tournament automatically gets in
Or the
because
top
Which is
four,
what the-
Terry.
because well
Terry, the top 4.
well the reason I say the winner of that is on account of maybe they got better as the year went along. They just started off bad. You know what I'm saying? So they improved to where they are winning your tournament. So those 2 are automatic.
Well, if you improved, then you'll be higher in the tournament as compared to what your regular season record was. So that's what I'm saying. Because if you let the top 4 in, then you're rewarding those who are playing the best at the end of the season, which is what we want to see anyway.
Yeah, it is. You
I mean,
want
look,
to see the
look,
best.
look at the NFL. I mean, I'm not saying that the NFL gets it wrong, but you look at the Philadelphia Eagles who are playing their worst football at the end of the season. So, and then they got stomped by Tampa Bay. I mean, it's just, why not have the teams that are hot when you need to be hot? When you've come together, you figured it out. That's the best coaching job, right?
Kind of like the Giants. That year.
Yeah, you look at a team. Well, they're 500. Yeah, but maybe they started out 2-6 or something, and the coach figured it out. So give them a little bit of credit for improving, and let those teams in, as opposed to a bunch of, like as Kevin says, elitists sitting around rooms sipping lattes, having martinis, figuring out who's going to be in this tournament.
You're just talking about the Big 12, and I pulled theirs up.
They are. I did the exact
They've
same thing,
got
Terry.
8 teams that are ranked out of their 14. There's only 14 in the whole conference, but 8 of them are ranked.
We need to start
And
doing
your
more of
9th team is a BYU team that is 15-5.
We need to start doing more. Y'all aren't going to play, like some little Maryland Ocean Shore or whatever we were talking about. Somebody
What-
played, and you're going to play the other major conference. We're going to do this. Okay, you are going to play another. We're going to match you up like an ACC Big Ten.
That's what I was
We're
about to
gonna do
say.
more. We're going to do more of it though, Chip. That's what I'm saying. Do more of that, not just 1 week.
Yeah.
We need to do more of it.
Do you think that, like the ACC Big Ten or ACC SEC challenge, that the fact that those kind of contests, they're not tournaments, but you know what I'm saying, those kind of
Gives you measuring
promotionals. But do you think right now that's putting, to Terry's point, is that putting the ACC at a disadvantage? They're the historical basketball conference, so everybody wants to match up with them, but it's making their records and numbers look worse, and so they're getting disrespected earlier in the season.
But Chip, look, I look at it like this. I know we had the ACC SEC challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up in a tie. They won, I think, 8. We won 8 or something like 7-7. But the bottom line is SEC's getting 8 teams in it. ACC's getting 3.
Yeah.
Now there's a problem there.
Well, I'm looking at like this, like the Big 12. I pulled up the exact same you are. The fact that we're losing these games, playing better competition, I would argue, to Tom's point. But the fact we're losing these games earlier is hurting our top 25, the number of teams that are in the top 25 overall for the ACC.
All right, so remember what we said a second ago about having all these teams, only 3 teams in it, and it's weird, and how it used to be? I said, didn't we used to have 7, 8, 9 teams? 1997, ACC standings: Duke, Wake Forest, North Carolina, Clemson, Maryland,
God, was Georgia Tech
Virginia,
ever good? Yeah.
Florida State, NC State,
That'd be Carolina.
and Georgia Tech. Tom, how many of those teams made the NCAA tournament?
I would say
Can you count?
5.
Can you count?
Look at the overall.
The answer's there. The answer's there, Tom.
My God.
Okay. Over there. I'm sorry. I was looking at
For
that
the people
call.
on the radio,
Oh,
I didn't
my
put
Lord.
the- there's a cheat sheet on there.
I wasn't even looking.
We gave you the crib sheet, Tom.
and you're in all Tom's defense, I didn't either.
Yeah. I was looking over there. And
I was
just
counting
looking-
them. I was going
but
to give
I
them.
was trying to be objective and just look
Yeah.
at the record.
2/3.
That's what I was
Tom
doing.
did good. Tom did what he was supposed to.
That's what I was doing. I was
He
looking.
didn't cheat like the rest
I would
of
actually.
Because I know what he does. He does it every Saturday. His gotcha. He's got to have the gotcha question.
That's
of
the
the
reason I
day.
was like, can you count?
Yeah.
It's
But
right
look,
there.
Well,
Look,
I mean,
Hey,
Florida
but
State's
yeah,
20 and
but
12.
You know what he does? He'll go, Tom, best 3 power forwards in the history of the NBA. Go. And you're like, whoa. I need a little bit of time to research this. But
Terry
yeah,
says Draymond,
yeah,
Draymond,
Virginia.
Draymond.
Well,
Virginia.
Virginia,
9, man.
Kev-
18 and 13,
Yeah.
7 and 9 overall in the ACC. 18 and 13 overall made the tournament. With lesser teams in the tournament and lesser teams in the conference. And now with more teams in the tournament and more teams in the conference, the ACC is getting only 3 teams?
And Kevin, does this go back to the argument we made about the college football playoff and reputation of the schools and it coinciding with the reputation of the coach? Has Wake Forest, in a sense, ever recovered from the post-Dave Odom, Tim Duncan era? Has Clemson ever recovered consistently from the Rick Barnes era? Has Maryland, who they're not even in the conference anymore, but have they ever really recovered from the Gary Williams era? I say recovered, but have they kept that momentum going? A lot of these schools on the periphery or from the outside looking in, their programs don't have the same kind of respect, whether that's justified or not, but because of the head coaches that they lost. The only 2 that have really survived that are the 2 that are playing today.
Can it be
look at
though,
Virginia.
Chip? Can it be one of those things that somebody's trying to break up the ACC? So the less that we do for them, the more this might happen. That some of these teams will split and go to the SEC, will split and go to the Big Ten.
Did you
and
see
we
the?
just bust it up?
Did you see the news that was released yesterday, Kevin? I don't know if you noticed it. The SEC and the Big Ten have formed an advisory council together.
they did.
So Terry, there might be legitimacy to that point. And after what we saw with what was the Pac-10, Pac-12 this year, we talked about it at the beginning of the football season. Who's the next conference they're coming after?
I think they'll end up with 32 teams like the NFL and 2 split conferences and do the exact same format that they do for the most part. But real quick, back to Virginia.
Yeah.
They made the tournament at 7 and 9 in the conference and 18 wins. So Tom, that means they could lose the next 6 in the conference, correct? And only win 2 more games and they'll be in the tournament.
Incorrect.
Like what world are we in?
You're in a world of it's a doggone beauty pageant. So like, what kind of girl do you like? You know what I mean?
Well,
if you're in a
and-
beauty pageant, there's different types of girls. I
You-
like this one, not that one.
You look
It's
at this.
dumb.
You look
It's
at this
dumb.
expansion of what's happened with the ACC. The majority of these schools, with the exception of maybe Syracuse historically, the majority of these schools that and Boston College, that we expanded with from that nine that we saw, it was for football purposes. And have we done that and diluted at least to the mainstream national media? Have we done that to the detriment and diluted the basketball product of the ACC?
I'm not sure, Terry. There's your 8 Big 12 teams in the tournament right now. 15-5 BYU, and 3-4 overall in the conference.
They brought back Phi Slamma Jamma, huh?
Yeah, your
Houston,
BPI
number 4.
standings has got State all the way down to 72.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
As much as you get on my nerves with it, I do think that State is getting cheated. You know
They
what,
do.
Terry?
They play.
You know
They
what, Terry?
played well this year.
I feel bad. I do have you a NC State hat for March Madness. I need to bring it in there. I keep forgetting to bring it in. I'm gonna bring
Now
it in
Duke,
next
Carolina, they number 5 and 6 going at each other today.
And that's the other thing too. That ACC has been so. ESPN has built up and focused on the greatest college basketball rivalry that there is in Duke and Carolina for the better part of a decade and a half now. Has there been so much emphasis on those two schools? And yeah, they've survived, and they're for all intents and purposes thriving in college basketball. But has that focused on just those two schools been to the detriment to the rest of the conference? The rest of the conference is basically also rans.
I think it's reading too much into it, Chip. I just think that they've got their little crystal balls and they just need
Follow
to-
the money.
Well,
you know, and they just, you know, I would say that too. But I'm just saying that once people's opinions get overly involved instead of facts, you know, don't bring your feelings to a fact fight. I think that's kind of what we do. We just feel the Big 12's better.
Yeah.
But that's not a fact.
Facts don't care about your facts don't care about your feelings.
Right? We feel this. You know, It's like, you know, whatever.
Well, college is the one where you get beat on Saturday and say you're better on Monday.
Right.
Duke,
Yeah.
North Carolina, and there's all kinds of stats like this. Will be the 49th time they've met, and they're both in the top 10. Not only is that 35 more than any other matchup, the previous 48 average score is 76.8. North Carolina with 24 wins to Duke's 24 wins, 76.0. 0.8 of a point between the two in the matchup. I think that's just those top 10 matchups. Make sure I get that right there. Duke and Carolina today, of course, on KTC Broadcasting, WCSL, and
Could this be a
WHS.
3 strikes you out day?
What you mean?
Well, I mean, Thursday, State women beat the Carolina women.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, the State wrestling beat the Carolina team 33-6. And could this be strike number 3 as Duke beats Carolina in Raleigh today? I mean, in Chapel Hill today?
Anybody want to guess who leads the all-time matchup between the two?
It's tied, isn't it?
Not really.
All time, Carolina by a lot, probably.
Yeah, it's all-time. Carolina leads the series against Duke 143-117.
Duke wasn't
Yeah,
even
but
good till
what is
Cake
it-
them and
what-
started cheating.
They go back to Mike Krzyzewski.
Chip,
That's what
what
they
is it
usually
sin-
do.
What is it since 1980?
Okay, that's
Well,
Because
the
you-
last 48 is
But you know-
24-24.
But you know what happened in 1980? A guy named who I hate.
Mike Kurgaskursky
Right.
got
He got there. So I would see what is it since
So
1980?
so the first 10 to 20 years of Dean Smith's career don't count, Tom.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Duke wasn't
Terry
the same
said no.
team.
That means Terry, your championships in the 70s don't count. Do
When
they?
Tom's second daddy got to Duke, everything was
Second
okay.
daddy, whatever. Yeah, that guy got no use for him. But I will say that I would say since 1980, it's probably been about even.
It probably it's in a.
I mean, I
Carolina's
just,
definitely got the lead on it.
yeah,
I mean,
I would just say that I
the
can
first
remember-
Coach
few years
K's
of
Coach K's overall record against the Tar Heels 50-50.
told you.
50 and 50.
That's why I'm on the show, Chip. You understand? I don't even need the Google machine. I
No,
just
but wait, no, he was God's gift to basketball though. Shouldn't he have a better record than batting
Tom,
500?
I bet his record in the Dean Smith years is not 50-50, and I bet it's.
I bet
I
you
bet
know
he's
what?
over 500 against Bill
bet,
Guthridge and
yeah.
Matt Doherty. and
Roy.
That's probably correct. That's
He
probably
is.
correct. When did Dean Smith give it up? Like 96?
8, 98,
No, it
eight.
might have been.
Eight.
What's that?
98.
98.
It was the
Yeah, 'cause
it was
he
the
got
end
through
of,
Jamison and
the
those
end of
guys.
Jamison
And then
Carter.
Guthridge took it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And,
We got
Didn't
Chris-
he have it for 2 years?
He had 2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
and then Doherty took it.
For 3 years, I think.
No, was
Doherty
Was
came
it
right
2
after.
years or 3 years?
I think
It was
I
2
think I-
years.
Two
then
Was
years.
it 3? I was
then-
thinking
then
2,
Doherty.
and then Doherty came in, and then Roy come in and took all his players and won a championship with them.
In,
Yep.
in Smith's career at UNC, he went 59-35 against the Blue Devils.
oh yeah.
Now you've got to remember, a part of that's 2 seasons when Krzyzewski was out for back surgery, but that's like four
That's when
games.
they were terrible.
Yeah, he did that on purpose.
I have no doubt.
I agree
Dean
with you.
Smith 24-14 against Coach K.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
They're not going to say that though because that would.
Tarnish the rat. I mean
We
the
wouldn't get to hear about.
rat faces.
I just get tired of. I mean, when he coached, I got tired of hearing about
You
his
gotta
daughters and his wife and all. Man, I was just so sick of that guy. I'm so
You've
glad
got to
he's gone.
understand when, it's like I'm a State fan. I say, what have you done for me lately? Not like the long
Except-
term.
unless
thing.
just the
I don't
Dallas
wanna
Cowboys.
Hear that long term stuff. I'm gonna say like, hey, State's beat y'all the last 3
Is
years.
this the same guy that talks about Dallas Cowboys?
Thank you,
when they
Tom.
went into
Thank
Super
you,
Bowls
Tom.
In the '90s, now he's what have you done for me lately? Now he's
It
Paul
is.
Abdul.
Yeah.
Now he's Paul
It
Abdul.
is.
Now he's Paul Abdul. What have you done for me lately, Terry? You're all
I'll have
over
to get
the place,
Chester
man.
Cheetah in here next week.
If you were looking for consistency, Terry, you're not.
It ain't easy being
All I know
cheesy.
is when Tom was out there with me and your dad this morning, Calvin, we gave him a thorough history in a book.
know,
He's put it in his car of how many champion Super Bowls we've won compared to Cleveland.
Number one, you don't read books. Number two, it's worse. Like because I love Calvin to death, but when he gets around Terry, I just want to go. I just like I can't deal with both of them. You know, it's like when
So, Calvin's a-
Terry's fine. I
Back
just can't
when
deal with
y'all
both
were
of them.
drawing in
Calvin's
the
a
dirt.
pot stir.
Okay. Yeah,
You know.
Terry's offensively ignorant sometimes. And if you let a pot stir, you fire up someone who's offensively ignorant sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
You don't know what's about to happen between the two.
It's like oh.
Since Duke won a championship in 2015, they've only made one Final Four, and that was when
Carolina
Caleb
beat 'em.
Love
Yeah.
stabbed him in the heart and ripped his throat out
Didn't
in
they
front
have
of the
Puff
world.
too?
I don't care about anybody but Caleb Love
Leaky.
on that team.
They
Go
have
Caleb.
Leaky and
That
Puff.
Leaky was on there. Yep.
Leaky and Puff and Puff the Magic.
That's why they
Dragon.
didn't win the championship, but they could beat Coach K.
They could beat Coach K.
They won their championship the day.
Look, no, that's the greatest.
They
that's the
sent
greatest
him
win.
off right.
For
That's the greatest
Carolina
win in
fans,
Carolina
it's the
history.
thing. It
Yo,
is.
guys,
It should be.
I
Yeah.
am surprised that he did not come back next year.
That
just
was the
because of
ultimate.
that.
I mean, he lost his
Send him
last
off
game
the
in
Final
Cameron.
Four.
And home.
Lost his last game at Cameron to Carolina.
Peace out,
Lost his
bro.
last game against Carolina.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate trump card.
Peace out, bro.
Yeah, deuces, pal.
I didn't. I'm not a Carolina fan, but I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And they bookended
was
him too
fun.
because I think his
I will
first. I
say
think they
that.
said his first loss ever was against Carolina.
That's so funny.
So they bookended him.
Well, this weekend on the schedule, Carolina Duke pregame begins at 5:30 today on the radio, WHS, WCSL, Carolina Basketball Network. We got Charlotte Hornets basketball tomorrow night. Indiana Pacers at the Charlotte Hornets. The Lakers are in town Monday night for some basketball. I don't know if LeBron or AD will
They
sit
won't.
that game
They won't
or play that game. I don't know. Usually LeBron plays against Charlotte, Tom, because he likes playing in front of Jordan, getting 30, and
And he might get a lot of
and
Instagram
most of the
views.
fans for the other teams.
The Lakers
there,
are better
there.
without him.
They are.
Get a
We'll
little
talk about that here
Instagram
in
views
just a
with
minute.
LaMelo being there.
And and then tomorrow it begins.
It does.
Yeah, I thought about Terry this week.
Vroom vroom. The
Vroom,
Clash at the
vroom.
I almost sent
Coliseum.
him a message about that.
Third year, isn't it?
Boogity boogity boogie.
Yeah.
Let's
So
go
stupid.
racing. We're going to talk NASCAR in a little bit more. We've got Jimmy Johnson's new colors and schedule out for this year.
Ain't he
And-
racing in 9 races?
I've got I think 8 right now.
Okay. That's,
There's 2 open spots. He's got schedules with his daughters and then other kind of racing he wants to do. He really wants to do North Wilkesboro, but he don't know if he can get to it. He's never been on the track before in his life, but he is qualified for the All-Star race still. In my opinion, he should do it before he's unqualified.
I agree. Yeah, go
And
try
especially
it.
with it being at North Wilkesboro. I think they're just waiting to later in the year to announce that one to see how the season goes. If they had, because the last time they ran, we'll talk about that, bunch of wrecks and then the COVID years. So it's not been good for that. But Duke, North Carolina at 5:30 today. The Clash Coliseum tomorrow on WCSL on this channel at 6 o'clock. Indiana Pacers and the Hornets on WHS tomorrow. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. We've got NBA, baseball, and NASCAR, NFL, and more on KDC Broadcast.